giant statue in Japan. Look, he's wearing samurai armor. Didn't the angels Azazel come down and teach man how to make armor and weapons of war and destruction? Right? He kind of looked like a bird a little bit, actually. Right? Birdman, Harvey Birdman. Right? This is in Africa. I believe this is Sierra Leone. You can see he's got scales and sharp teeth. Right? And he's got a crown of horns around his head. Yeah? Okay? We know this is from Sumeria. These people interacted with these beings. See? Artist depiction. Very clearly, they're humanoid, but they're not human. See? Biting her neck, possibly drinking her blood of life, like vampires, right? Vampires, werewolves are also representations of reptilians and shape-shifting, right? This is what Credo Mutwa was talking about. See? His people know about these beings. Okay? The ancient Japanese, somebody had tagged me on what they call these things. I forget what the Japanese call them. The Horuji Temple, that's the Horuji Temple. But I forgot what they call these beings. This one is like a turtle, right? They're said to eat babies and hunt after babies. And they also eat ass. Adrenochrome, right? I mean, it's all over the place. This is, this is in South America. This is a statue found in Peru, Peru, right? The serpent beings. You see them here. What the fuck is a giant statue like this doing in Peru? What is this of, if not these beings? Okay? All over the world, they've known about these beings. Lizard people's catacomb city hunted. Okay, this is underneath Los Angeles. There was a lizard city that was known to be inhabited. Fuck is niggas talking about? This is an actual news article, nigga. Forgot what year it's from, but we did post about it. More reptilians, right? Except they showed them as crocodile gods, right? He's got a tool in his hand. Which is when you know a crocodile to ride another crocodile with tools in their hands. Okay, let me guess. The ancient ancestors were just making this shit up, right? They were just making up fairy tales and stories, right? Who the fuck does that? You see these beings, these crocodile beings overshadowing the pharaoh, possessing the pharaoh. Demonic possession, right? Overshadowing, right? You understand? See what's going on? You take this shit for granted if you want. Crocodile beings, one and the same. When he has his cloak on, right, and he's disguising himself, he appears to be as a man. When the cloak is removed, they look exactly as they are. You understand what I'm saying? See if we can find more. Okay. So we're giving you just some examples of the sculptures, right? So let's see. This is the Dogu in Japan. This is in Serbia. More. This is Japan, Serbia. Check out the eyes, right? I fucking hate when they do the fucking techno me. I fucking hate that shit. Let me just turn that volume down. Can't stand that shit. I'm sorry. Fucking beats like that just make me think of white privilege. Don't this shit sound like white privilege? Look. Here you go. Watch white privilege start. Yeah, sound like white privilege. Don't this beat sound like white privilege? That's what it sound like to me. Nigga said that Metal Gear sound like white privilege. That's what it sound like, nigga. Horiju Temple, Japan, right? He looked like, remember we were saying birds, fish, reptiles, the Dogon, the fish gods, the serpent gods, the fiery flying serpents. The only way you can fly is if you have wings, and birds have wings, right? Some reptiles, birds and reptiles have scales. Birds, reptiles, and fish have scales. Birds are dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are reptiles. Come on, man. It's too easy. Horyuji Temple, Japan. Birdman up in there. In Panama, Birdman. Okay, bird Baphomet. Okay, getting breastfed. Okay, Serbia, Birdman. Longhorn Canyon. I guess this is America. Birdman. Dogu, Japan. Birdman. Niggas had Harvey Birdman everywhere, man. This is why they call the show V. Okay, V, the show, the TV show V, right? Okay. Look at the comparison of the heads. Look. See the wide face, elongated skull, elongated eyes, slender nose. Where do you think white people get them thin ass noses from, huh? Where do you think they get them sniffers from? An artist rendition of the sculpture. Conehead, right? Let me show you. Baby born with conehead. Baby, mummified conehead baby. So this baby was in the womb of a mummy. Okay? In her belly. So you can't turn around and say, oh, this is just them. It's a cultural practice. You know, they put the board against the back of their head and just made their heads long. Yeah, there's those people and their customs. They were trying to emulate those gods. That's why you see some of them African tribes and some of them indigenous fake natives. They'll sharpen their teeth to look like crocodiles and shit. Who do you think they trying to look like? They're gods. They'll fucking put the board on the back of their head and make the shit long. Who they trying to look like? They're gods. These beings, right? Conehead, remember? Look. Conehead. See what I'm saying? See, she got the wide shoulders with the titties. Okay? Look, you see it with the Baphomet body, with the androgynous body. See what I'm saying? XXY face ass. XXY chromosome having ass. You gonna get them fucking XXY chromosomes? I just want to show you the damn picture. Nigga, fuck is this? Don't tell me they took this motherfucker off. Mummified baby. Conehead. Let's see. What the fuck? Here we go. Mysteries of tiny bodies from 1930s will linger. This is not it, but I'll check that out at another time. I'm going to find that article for y'all. I don't want to waste too much time, though. But there's one of a mummified... It's a mummified woman from Peru, right? And the baby within her womb, she died with a baby in her womb. The baby has a cone head. So that means that this thing was born like that. Motherfuckers be thinking it's a goddamn joke. Look. They took the damn baby's head out of the fetus of the mummified woman. It had fucking slender eyes, just like that, and that. Mad egg in the back. Mad egg. You understand? Close that out. We can close that out. I don't know about that. Let me see this. All that tongue flicking. Let's play this real quick. This is Egyptian hieroglyphs. You see the serpent people? See the small miniature serpent people? That means they come in all different sizes, right? Flying serpent. You see there's terrestrial serpents, the ones that are just in this dimension, and then there are the ones which travel interdimensionally, hence the wings, right? The flying disc, right? That Nibiru, which is coming back, it's not I told you, it's not a ship. It's a living being. It's a living being, right? So go. See? Egghead ass. Egghead ass.
500 years ago.
This matches the scripture. 3,500 years ago. Let me just see if this guy's doing well with his thing real quick. Oh, he had a little bit of an event, so let me give him a little bit more titration. Some of that 10. Yeah, let me give him some of that 10 right there. All right, so 3,500 years ago. So from Genesis, let's say Genesis 4. Well, let me do this real quick. What the fuck am I gonna write? All right. Nope, not that. Might as well use that. All right, so from Genesis, from Genesis 3, let's say when they get kicked out the garden, right? For Genesis 3 and 20, we'll say 3 and 20, up until Noah was 2,000 years. Okay? From Noah up until Hezekiah, or a little bit after Hezekiah, but we'll just put Hezekiah. It's more or less 2,000 years. More or less 2,000 years. 2,000s, right? And then from that time period of that captivity to Babylon. Who was the last one we went into captivity to? Was Babylon, I think it was. From Babylon captivity of the Israelites, and I believe that's the Hezekiah era, up until present day. Right? That is that's another almost about 2,000 years. Almost about more or less, adding up to 2,000 years. So, since Adam was kicked out of the Garden of Eden, right? Let me put just Eden expulsion. That's when time began. So, or time as we're counting it in this realm, right? This is about 6,000 years, more or less. Okay? Now, the age before Adam, right? Remember, that's Genesis 3, right? Now, the age before Adam, let's say Genesis 1 and 1 to Genesis 1 and 2 is its own time period. We don't know how long, we don't know how much time is between then. It could be 1,000,000 years. It could have been 12,000 years. It could have been 20. It could have been 50,000 years. It could have been 100. We don't know. That's why they call it the timeless age. Remember, there was no sun, moon, and stars. So how could you have time with no sun, moon, and stars, right? This is the timeless age. And then there's from Genesis 1 and 3 to Genesis, let's say 1 and 29, right? Or to finish it, or to Genesis 2. We'll just put to Genesis 2, right? That in itself was 6,000 years. Remember, each day is 1,000 years unto the Lord, right? 1 day equals 1,000 years, right? So if we're talking in the time of God, God's timing, we're looking from his point. Because remember, time changes based on your perspective. So it's really since Genesis 1 and 3 until from Genesis 1 and 3 to current day to 2018 has been a little under 12,000 years. 12,000 years. Or minus. We'll just put minus. Well, we'll put plus or minus. But it's definitely less than. We're adding up to 12,000 years. Trying to get to 13, right? But the time shit, I got it mapped out already. So it's like I'm trying to do it off the top of my head. But if I had the other book with me, it'd be a little bit easier. But this whole Earth age with Adam only involves about 12,000 years. You understand? So if we're including the sun, moon, and stars as they are right now. Okay, not including the age before the age of Saturn, not including that. So this all makes sense when we look at it. He said about 3,500 years ago is when these beings came down. Genesis 6, right? So if we're looking at the flood, okay, so we got that part. We don't know. We can move that to the side because we don't know how much time that is, right? So this is 2,000 years. So see what I'm saying? Add these two. 2,000, that's about 4,000 years, right? But we haven't completed the 6,000 year to lead into the 7th yet. So really, we're 5,000, let's say 500 years, and we got another 500 to go. I'm just giving you an example. So you see how it makes sense. What's 2,000 plus 2,000? It's 4,000. That's more or less the same time frame he's talking about. Just take away 500 years, right? So let's go.
During the reign of King Thomas,
that puts him right at Genesis 6, which makes sense.
The third, ancient Egypt was invaded by spherical UFOs, which were described as circles of fire.
Serpents of fire, the fiery serpent, circles of fire. Did not Paul say he saw a ball of light and he heard the voice of Jesus Christ coming out of that ball of light? Nigga, that was a goddamn dinosaur. Nah, let me stop. It was a goddamn reptile. Goddamn fallen one. Ready? Let's go.
According to ancient papyrus, these spherical UFOs filled the sky.